So today I'm going to introduce you to Python programming. This is the first part of the complexities of Python programming you're going to learn. But before introducing you directly to Python, one basic concept I want you to build up. That is, first of all, we need to understand correctly what is programming. You see how it is defined out here. It is the process of giving instruction to the computer. That is the simplest ever definition you can find. It is the process of giving instruction to the computer. Whatever instruction you give to the computer is basically comes under this term called programming. So now what is it written over there? Thus a set of instruction given to the computer is called programming, and the group of instruction or code is a program. So here what is happening? It is the process of giving instruction to the computer, fine. And when you write this instruction one after the other, it's termed as a program. And this entire process of writing a program or writing a code is called programming. That's it. That is the concept behind it. Now the question arises, where do we write a program? There should be a place where we should write a program. You cannot write a program in Word or anything of that sort. You need a place, a proper software should be there for you to write a program. So this is written in a software called IDE. Now notice that the IDE is the acronym for this Integrated Development Environment. So it's a particular software through which we are able to write instruction, or in other words, we are able to write programs. Now it consists of what does it consist of? It consists of an editor. Now let me tell you what is an editor. Editor is basically almost like your notepad in your Windows. I believe all of you have come across this notepad, a very basic word processor where you can simply type some text without much of formatting. So this editor is the place where we are going to write our program. Then we have the translator. Now, why translator? From your childhood, you had been learning. Some of you, are doing programming for the very first time. You must have studied in your childhood that computer understands only one language, that is machine language. So here we have a translator that is used to convert the program which you have written to a language which is understood by the computer. I cannot tell it machine language. Why? Because nowadays the entire concept has changed. It need not be machine language. It needs to be a language which is understood by another type of software. Well, that particular concept we'll do it later on. It's well within our syllabus, but so for time being, you just need to understand that we require a translator that is used to convert the program which we have written to a language which is understood by the machine. And what is the third point out there? Method of executing the program. There should be a process through which you should be able to execute the program after translation. So you see, there are three steps over here. First, the editor where you write the program, translator which is used to convert whatever program, whatever instruction you have written, and then third, what do we have? We need to have a method through which you will be executing the program. For learning Python, we will be using a very basic IDE called Python ideally. So for Python, we'll be using a very basic IDE. So a basic IDE, now the full form of IDE I have specified earlier, that is Integrated Development Environment. And for Python, we are going to use a very basic IDE that is called Python ideally. Python ideally stands for Integrated Development Learning Environment. This is a very basic IDE which is used to help someone to write programs. Now, when you write programs, definitely you require a language. So a language is used for interacting with the computer. You cannot use a normal English language because any human speakable language is always ambiguous. That is why scientists have developed different languages like Java, like C++, like Python. So here we are going to use Python, and you are going to see how beautifully this language has been created, keeping every possible complexities of a programmer. So whatever complexities a programmer faces, so slowly those who have done programming earlier, you'll find how easy it is to do certain programs which used to take much longer process or complex methods. In Python you can do it very simply, and those who are learning for the first time, you'll find it this is a real breeze. You can easily do a lot of code, a lot of programming. You can develop, ultimately you have to develop a software for your project, and you'll find that so easily you'll be able to develop it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use it, how to use the Python ideally. That is what I'm going to show you. So I'm starting with Python 3.6, though 3.8 is already available. I can start with this. So click on Python from the start menu, and this is what you get. You can see this is what you get. You got the Python shell. This is the Python shell. Python shell is basically used for interactive mode. There are two modes in which you can write programs in Python. One is called the interactive mode and one is called script mode. Interactive mode means as soon as you give an instruction, you get the answer. In other words, you can imagine this Python shell to be a very powerful calculator. For example, if I write 5 plus 6, you can see you'll get the answer. That's 11. You can see that it's a very powerful calculator. Although I'm just, it's an injustice to tell that it's a very powerful calculator. It's much more than that. Slowly we'll understand, but please understand that we cannot give a set of instruction out here in interactive mode. In interactive mode, we can simply check for a single instruction. Remember that. What is very important for us is the place, the editor where I'm going to write the program. To do that, you have to click on File and you have to click on New File. You can see now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide it at the right so that you can see both of them. So there, this is what you can see. I'll resize it a bit so that it get accommodated on the screen. So here on the right hand panel, you can see that's the editor where I'm going to write a program. That is, this particular mode of doing programming is called script mode, because what I'll have is I'll have a set of instruction given over here. And in the interactive mode, as soon as you give the instruction, you see that 3 greater than symbol is called the Python prompt, shell prompt, Python shell prompt. This is the place where you can directly give an instruction and you can see the output as soon as you give the instruction. That I just showed you while adding 5 plus 6. So here in script mode on the right hand panel, when you write the program, you cannot do it that way. You have to write all the set of instruction, then save that particular program, and only when you run the program, I'll show you the method for executing it, only then you'll be able to see the answer. And the answer, however, will be shown back in the shell mode. That is in this particular where we have this prompt, that is 3 greater than symbol. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start directly from this statement, from the statement called print. So here what we do is print is a statement, rather very specifically it's a function, it's a built-in function in Python that is used to display certain data. And very beautifully created, this print statement displays data when it is enclosed within quotes. So I'm going to show that. So suppose I write first. See, I'm enclosing the word first within quotes. So as soon as I do that, you see, that's the answer. You can see print first, and just when I hit the enter key, as soon as I hit that enter key, I'm getting the answer first below it. So that was my first program in Python. Just simply issue the commands in the shell mode, that is in the interactive mode, and as soon as you give the instruction, you get the answer. So that's it. And similarly, I can write, say for example, second, and this time, yeah, it's printing second. Have you noticed something? There is no difference between double quote and single quote. That's a very interesting factor out here. You can either use double quote or you may use single quote to print any kind of text. Remember, within quotes, whatever you include, you'll get the answer as it is. To elaborate this further, suppose, say for example, I want to print the word first within quotes. So how do I do that? So I'll write print Say for example, I want to display it in double quotes. So the entire thing, now if I write within double quotes first, which you have seen earlier, it's going to display first. Now what I'm going to do is, I want the double quotes also to be displayed. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use a single quote to again enclose this entire double quote along with the text. So how do I do that? I'll just retype this once again. You see the technique which I'm using. I'll just bring the cursor to that particular statement and hit the enter key. It'll come back over here. Now you can edit it. So I don't need to retype it again and again. So here I'll have a quote that marks the beginning of that entire text and a single quote to mark the end of it. Now when I hit the enter key, you see the word first gets printed with double quotes. Now you see the opposite. What I'm going to do is, I want the word first to be enclosed within single quote. That is what I want. So this time I'm going to enclose it within double quotes. Just the vice versa. So here I'm going to enclose within double quotes that single quote. So now you see the word first gets displayed within single quotes. So that is what we can do with our single quote and double quote. Those who have come from some ICC background, you don't have such a thing in the language whatever you have studied, either Java or C++. But in Python, we can simply do this. You can apply single quote or double quote, and you require it very much. It will be essential when I want to display the quotes as well. Then this becomes very important which quote you are going to use. And I showed you the usage of. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you how to use the script mode. So how do we use the script mode? Click on File and New. I believe you remember. I've already kept the screen open over here, so I can do it out here. And let me write the statement print, say hello. And then what do I write? You see, have you noticed the difference here? As soon as I write something, you are getting the answer. However, in this particular place, in the program mode, that is in the script mode, you do not get the answer. You have to get it at last. You will be getting it at last only when you instruct it. So here it is a interactive mode, single line commands in the interactive mode. And here in the script mode, you have to write a complete program. This is on the right hand panel. What you're seeing is writing actually a program. So print, say how are you? Let me write that. And that's it. Suppose our program consists of 2 lines. Now first what we need to do is, we need to save the program. You can also go without saving it. So let me do something. Say I give the name trial class 11. So let me name the file as trial class 11. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to click on run and I'm going to click on the run module, or you may use the function key F5. You can see over there. Now please remember something: if you do not save and execute the program, it's going to ask you for the name first. So you need not worry about forgetting to save the program. It doesn't matter. Once you run the program, if it is not saved, it'll ask you to provide name for the file and it'll be saved definitely. So anyway, we are going to run the program. Click over here, or you may use the function key F5, and then you can see the answer coming in the interactive mode. In this particular shell mode, that is the shell window of Python, you will always get the answer irrespective of whether you are using the shell window itself, that is in interactive mode, or in the script mode. You will always get the answer out here. So I believe you can understand where do you get the answer. So this is what we do with the programming mode, where we write all the set of instruction and then save the file and then go to the run menu and click on the run module, or you may press the function key F5 only after saving the file. If you have not saved the file, it will ask you to save the file first. That's it. That is how we use the editor. Now we'll get into more details. Okay, so now what we are going to do is, we are going to learn how to use the different arithmetic operators. Now you had already seen in the example I showed you one of the arithmetic operator called plus. Now we are going to see the remaining arithmetic operators which are available in Python. So plus is always there for addition, minus is there for subtraction. These are the two usual ones. Asterisk for multiplication, the star symbol which is used for multiplication. Slash for division. Remember the slash is front slash. And then we have double slash to indicate integer division. Now, let me tell you the difference. If you write 5 divided by 2, you are going to get 2.5. This is what you are going to get. However, when it comes to integer division, if you write 5 divided by 2, there are 2 slashes you can see over here. So it's going to give you 2 instead of 0.5. That 2.5, instead of that, you'll get 2. That means all the digits after the point will get truncated. It will get removed from it. So you'll get only the integer part. Now do not mix up. It's not rounding off. It is simply removing the digits after the point and you get an integer. So hence this is called integer division. So please remember the name. Next comes modulus. The modulus operator is used to find the remainder when a certain number is divided by a certain number. For example, suppose I have 5 modulus 2. And 5 modulus 2, when you divide 5 with 2, what is the remainder you get? Obviously you get 1. So this is what we are going to get when we use the modulus operator. Next comes the exponent operator, that is double star. This is used to raise a number to the power of another number. For example, if I write 5, the exponent operator 2 is going to find 5 square, that is 5 to the power 2, that is 25. So this is how the entire thing works. So these are the different arithmetic operators that are available in Python. Plus, minus, asterisk, I am not showing you any example because the answer is quite obvious and we had seen this earlier also. And next, whenever you are using a mathematical expression, please remember, if you are going to use brackets, we only use the first bracket, no second bracket or third bracket or anything of that sort. We use only the first bracket. For example, suppose I have something like this, say for example, 5 plus 6, this is within bracket, multiplied by 3. Now, unlike mathematics, we will not use something like this. Now, this is incorrect. So, how do we do this? So, we are going to write 5 plus 6 into 3. Even this should be enclosed within the first bracket itself. That is the rounded bracket. So, in a mathematical expression, irrespective of how many brackets you have inside another bracket, that is nested brackets, you are always going to use the first bracket only. So I believe you can understand what I am trying to tell over here. That is only first bracket. That is only first bracket can be used in a mathematical expression. No other bracket can be used out here. Next, what we are going to learn is the process of evaluation. That is, which operation will be done first when we have a huge mathematical expression. So we need to understand the precedence of operation. Suppose I have an expression something like this. 5 plus 6 into 3. So here in mathematics we know that multiplication will be done first and followed by addition. So here also we need to understand how the different mathematical operators are evaluated. We need to understand this. So how do we do this? Let me make you understand. First, what we are going to do is, of course, the first operation which we are going to perform is parenthesis. That is the expression in brackets. Next, the second operation which we are going to do is exponent. That is power. The third thing what we are going to do is slash into modulus integer division slash. All has the same priority. Please remember, slash into, it doesn't follow BODMAS, which you have studied in mathematics. That is bracket of division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. It never follows that. What it follows is, it follows slash into modulus and integer division. The slash all has the same priority. So whichever comes first will be evaluated first. I'll give you an example. Suppose, say for example, you have 5 into 3 divided by 4. So how is this entire thing evaluated? In mathematics, it is 3 divided by 4 and then multiplied by 5. Here, slash into modulus and integer division all has the same priority. So you need not worry about this. So whichever comes first will be evaluated first. So in this expression, since multiplication is before slash and both has the same level of priority, you see this is the third level of priority. All has the same level. So first come, first serve. Whoever comes first will be evaluated first. So first 5 will be multiplied by 3 and whatever is the result will be divided by 4. This is how the entire thing works. And then we have the plus or minus. Here also we follow the same technique. Whichever comes first will be evaluated first. Unlike mathematics where always addition is performed before subtraction, nothing of that sort happens. Here whichever comes first will be evaluated first. So that is how the entire arithmetic operators are evaluated. Please keep this in mind. For example, I'll give you an expression. Suppose, say for example, I believe you have taken a screenshot of this. Please be careful, you need to take screenshots because you need to keep a note in your copy. We'll require this. You need to preserve this, till class 12. Suppose I have an expression something like this. Print suppose 5 minus 3 into 4 plus 6. Now suppose if you are given such an expression, now which particular operation will be evaluated first? Of course, our entire list tells that in this particular mathematical expression, the multiplication will be evaluated first because that has more priority than at least plus or minus. So here the multiplication will be done first. So that means 3 into 4, that comes to 12. Now what do? We have addition also, we have subtraction also. But we know that in a mathematical expression, in Python, plus and minus are given the same priority. So you have to keep these in mind. So suppose you have 5 minus 3 into 4. Look at the way I am going to evaluate. How do I write it? I write it this way. You see, step by step. Do not jump. 5 minus 3 into 4 is 12 plus 6. I'll be giving you assignments related to this. Please do it the way I am showing you. Do not jump. Don't give me the answer directly. Do the evaluation as the way computer is going to do. So this is what we get. And then what do we have? 5 minus 12, because plus and minus has the same priority. So here, since minus comes first, will be evaluated first. So 5 minus 12 comes to minus 7 plus 6. So now minus 7 plus 6 is minus 1. So when I print this, it's going to display 1. So this is what is going to happen when you use a mathematical expression. And you can see that it's going to give you minus 1. I just mistakenly written over there 1. It's minus 1. So this is what is going to happen when you write a mathematical expression. I believe you understand the precedence of operation of mathematical expression. Now, print is a very powerful tool. We are going to learn more of this in detail. Now see over here, suppose I have print. Now what I am doing is, you can assume everything, whatever I am writing, it is in the script mode, that is the code mode, the programming mode, instead of interactive mode. So print, suppose say for example, I write over here Siliguri followed by print West Bengal. So now in this program consists of two print statements and both has a certain text within quotes to be displayed. And you know that whatever you enclose within quotes will be displayed as it is, irrespective of whether it is single quote or double quote. So here print Siliguri and print West Bengal. It is written in two different lines. When you run this particular program, what you're going to get is the output which you're going to get. Output, please remember, is the result for the instructions that you have given. That's the meaning of output. So when you get the output, you'll find that the word Siliguri comes first and then West Bengal comes in the next line. So this is how the entire thing works. So this is what you are going to get. Similarly, if you have an mathematical expression, even that can be evaluated using print statement. For example, you see, this is one aspect you keep in your mind. That is, every print statement is going to get displayed in different lines. Now you see, suppose I have something like this. Print 5 plus 6. What do you think is the answer? It's going to definitely give you 11. The output will be definitely 11. Now let me modify this further. Suppose within quotes, whether single or double, it doesn't matter, I write 5 plus 6. So do you expect to get the output 11? Naturally not. What happens is, within quotes, we know that we have seen this earlier, whatever you enclose within quotes will be displayed as it is. So it's going to display 5 plus 6. So this is what it is going to display. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to modify this further. I'm going to write over here 5 plus 6. Now note that this 5 plus 6 is within quotes, and we know that within quotes whatever you write will be displayed as it is. So it's going to display 5 plus 6 followed by a comma separator, and what do you have? You have 5 plus 6, that is 11. So it's going to add 5 and 6. Why it's going to add? Because it's not enclosed within quotes. If it is not enclosed within quotes, Python understands that it needs to evaluate it. That means calculate that particular expression. So you're going to get 11. So this is what is going to happen. 5 plus 6 followed by a single space. This space comes because of the comma. There will be a single space followed by 11. This is what is going to happen. Suppose you write 5 plus 6 equal to, and this equal to is also within quotes, followed by comma 5 plus 6. Now what do you expect the output to be? Of course, 5 plus 6 equal to followed by 11. This is what is going to happen. I believe you can understand how to combine both text as well as mathematical calculations inside the print statement. Even this can be inside a program. You can have multiple print statement having certain kind of calculations over there. Even this is possible. Now, we'll get into more details now. There is something called the escape sequence. Now, escape sequence are non-graphical characters. You have to understand this, that escape sequence are non-graphical characters. Non-graphical characters means this do not get displayed within the print statement when you enclose it within quotes. It has a different interpretation. For every escape sequence, you have a different interpretation. So there are characters which begins with backslash. We have learned front slash for division. What we are learning is backslash. So this backslash is such a character which is followed by some other character. There are certain other characters which is interpreted in a different way in Python. I'll give you an example. Suppose I write print, within quotes I write West Bengal. When I write this, when you run this program, of course you're going to get West Bengal. Now what I do is, I use an escape sequence called \n. \n indicates new line. What actually happens is, you might expect that it's going to display \n, because I have said this earlier that whatever you enclose within quotes will be displayed as it is. But nothing of that sort happens when it comes to \/ characters. There are certain characters after \, and n is a small letter. Please remember, there are certain characters which is used to modify the way data will get displayed. So \n here means bring the text after it in the next line. It is interpreted this way. This is called an escape sequence. It will escape the normal sequence of displaying a character. It will escape that and do something else. In this case, what is that something else? \n means it's going to display the text after it or the data after it in the next line. So what will happen is, instead of displaying \n, it's going to display Bengal in the next line. This is what happens. So I believe you can understand what is the use of \n. Another escape sequence which I want to show you is \t. \t is for tab space. Tab space, you must have, while using Microsoft Word, you must have, there might be situations where you have used the tab key on the keyboard. So it, leaves a certain amount of space and brings the cursor to a certain column. So here in Python also something like that happens for the data. What actually happens is, suppose we have the word west, and now followed by \t. So what will happen is, it's going to leave for every tab space. Remember, the tab space consists of 8 columns. A tab space consists of 18 columns, and each column, a tab space consists of 8 columns, and each column represents a single character. So just try to understand this, that every character occupies a single column. So when you write \t over here, so what will happen is, already 4 characters are done over here. Done means in the sense that it's already displayed over here. So now it's going to leave more 4 spaces. That means 4 spaces will be left. Don't use that underscore. This is just for you to understand. It's going to leave 4 spaces. So what happens is, out here, we have 4 characters followed by 4 spaces. Then the word Bengal comes into play. So this is what happens. Because this is the position of the next tab space text. So here west gets printed followed by 4 spaces. Those spaces can accommodate 4 characters, and from the 9th column the word Bengal gets. Now if I have \t once again, what will happen is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we'll have 2 more spaces, and from here it will start displaying it. So this is how the entire tab space works. You can have double \t also. You can write \t. So every time you do that, it's going to leave 8 spaces over there. So total 16 spaces is going to leave. Sometimes there might be situations where the word consists of more than 8 characters. Even that may happen. Suppose we have a longer word consisting of 9 characters. In that case, if you write \t, it's going to leave that particular column also and go for the next tab space. So suppose, say for example, the particular word which I am displaying over here, it comes over here till this much. So now if you write \t, it's quite obvious. It's going to leave this particular column and it is going to this particular tab space and start from here. That is, from the 9th column, this is going to leave this and it will start from the 17th column. So this is what is going to happen. 8 column, 16 columns, and here from the 17th column it will start displaying whatever data you are displaying. So I believe you can understand what is the difference between \n and \t. \n for new line and \t for tab space. Now one thing, let it be very clear. When you write in your copy, just leave a little bit amount of, because we cannot indicate how many space, so just leave literally a little bit amount of space and then write the next text if you are given outputs of that sort. And similarly, you see, suppose I have something like this, print India \t USA. Suppose I have something like this. So first West Bengal with that spacing, it's going to display this, and then followed by India. Of course, it will be in the next line. So INDIA, it's going to display India. So 5 characters followed by 3 characters, and from here, remember when you display it over here this way. Now, when you show me the output, please don't put this underscore. What you're going to do is have this clarity. You write West and then you write Bengal out here. Just imagining there are 3 spaces over here. Don't put an underscore or don't put a line to indicate there are spaces. Just write it this way, followed by the next one, India, and follow the proper alignment of writing USA. This is how you should show me the output. When you write, the output that consists of \t. So I believe you can understand what I'm trying to tell over here. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you more details with the print statement. Now suppose I have something like this, print hello, and then followed by print Python. Now when you run this program, what is it going to show? The output will be hello and then followed by Python. This is what it is going to show. Quite obvious and nothing much. What I'm going to do is I want the Python to be displayed in the same line, that is in the line where we have hello. However, I'm going to use the print statement in the next line. That means I want to write the program with two separate print statements, that is print hello and print Python, but when I get the output, I want the output as first hello and then followed by Python in the same line. This is what I want. So what I'm going to do, how do I modify this? So what we are going to do is, we are going to write this print hello, and then what I am going to do is, I am going to use the end parameter, END, where END all are in small letters. The end parameter is used to tell by which character it should end. So in this case, it should end with space. So write a quote, it may be single or double, doesn't matter, followed by a space, single or multiple spaces, and followed by the quote, closing quote. So this is what you are going to do. And then write print Python. Now what is going to happen is, it's going to display hello and end is space. That means it is not ending with a new line. It's not coming to the next line. It's going to remain in the same line. It will have a space, that is the amount of space you have given in the end. In the end, within quotes, if there is a single space, it's going to display a single space. If there are two spaces, it's going to display two spaces. So after displaying the space, it's going to display Python, the word Python. I believe you can understand this, how it is going to display this. Very simple. Now, by default, I think now you can understand by default, that is, when you do not write the end statement, by default, it has which character. So end has this character by default, that is \n. This is by default. By default means if you do not use it, it is by default \n, the end parameter. So only when you change this end, only then you are going to get the character through which you are ending will be different. So here end equal to space means it's going to display a space followed by the word Python in the same line. And if you put a star over here, then it's going to display a star in the middle. This is what is going to happen. Similarly, you can see what I'm going to do is, there is one more parameter called sep. Sep means to separate. Hello and followed by Python. So when you run this program, what is the output you are going to get? You are going to get hello followed by a single space, because that is what the default size of the sep parameter is, followed by Python. Simple. That means you will have a little bit of space over here, a single character space. Now I'm going to change this. I'm going to write print hello followed by Python followed by sep equal to say I'm going to write star. So now what is going to happen is, it's going to show something like this, hello star Python. So it's going to separate by a star asterisk instead of a single space. Similarly, I can write print hello from Python separator is say slash. So suppose something like this I have. So this time what is the output you are going to get? You are going to get something like this, hello followed by slash followed by from followed by slash followed by Python. This is what you are going to get. You see, every item that we are displaying using the print statement is separated by a slash. Whatever symbol you give in this SEP, SCP, all in small letters, it is going to display this. Now what I'm going to do is, I can even combine these two, that is both SEP as well as END. I can do this. So what I'm going to do is, out here, I can write this, hello Python, and separator is say star, followed by end, and ending will be say minus. I'm just writing randomly, there is no meaning to it. Hello all, let me write that. Suppose something like this I have. Now what is it going to display? It's going to display first the word hello, followed by Python, but before that, what is the separator? Star. So it's going to display a star over here. And next, what it is going to display? It's going to display the word Python. Next, what do we have? We have the dash over there, because that's used to mark the end of it. If you do not give this end statement, end by default will be \n. So your next print statement will get displayed in the next line. However, we give that end where end is minus, so it will put a minus and it will start displaying whatever is there in the next print statement. So here what we have is, it's going to display hello all. That's it. That's how it is going to do. I believe you can understand what I'm trying to tell out here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give you a few assignments and you're going to solve it and then post it back over here. Use the Cam Scanner app to scan the entire thing, create a single PDF file and post it over here. I'm going to check it and again post you back with the correction. Thank you.